Video gamers no longer want to listen to long guides, so here are 25 quick tips guaranteed speedy enough to loop de loop in a supersonic game, on how to get better in that one-of-a-kind MMO FPS, Planetside 2. One. When playing a medic and you see a corpse, assume the threat is still around. Look, listen, and make sure before you cross the road, I mean revive an ally. And be sure to engage an enemy player if they're sitting in wait for you to make that revive. 2. On the top of towers, on top of radar poles and other tall and thin objects with a flat top are perfect for placing your spawn beacon, as it will be A, hard to reach for the enemy, and also out of their vision because they won't see that big line of faction coloured smoke. 3. Ally tanks will run you over. Be careful when running on roads and try to avoid them as much as possible when running as an infantry player. 4. You are always slightly visible as an infiltrator, and players paying attention will see a shimmer or unwittingly walk into you. Don't be cocky and make sure to move out of their direct line of sight. 5. Don't stand in front of doorways when defending a room. It blocks your allies from being able to fire out, and most likely invites both your allies and enemies to shoot at you. Realistically, you want as big as an arc as possible to shoot through that doorway, and you standing in there makes that smaller. 6. Zigzagging or running side to side can save your life when retreating, due partly to weapon mechanics with bullet travel time making it hard to shoot moving targets not running in one direction, and slightly on the hit detection server side. 7. Medic can revive through walls and other cover if you initiate the revive whilst you have vision of them, so come out of a doorway, lock on, and move back into the safety while still reviving your buddy. Simples. 8. Strafing the cliff whilst falling can save your life if you misstep and fall. Basically, face the wall, try to jump, and also angle yourself towards the curve of the mountain. Sometimes you do just splat and pancake on the ground, but it's worth a try. 9. You can use the engineer turret as deployable cover, either one that you find lying around or putting one down yourself. Personally, I find it more useful than the anti-infantry turret in the first place because it makes you so vulnerable by being static. 10. Implants can be combined together to make chargers, one green and one blue for a smaller charger, and one blue and one orange for the ultra charger. This could allow you to use higher tier implants depending on how lucky you were with implant drops and how your combinations have gone, as I'd suggest only using the ones that you already have multiple sets of. 11. Don't destroy enemy terminals, especially vehicle ones, as an ally infiltrator can hack them, and pulling Sunderers could be the difference between winning and losing a base. 12. When using medkits as an infiltrator, wait a second or two until you have full health to cloak again, as the server likes to cancel out any healing if you do it too early. 13. If you have a full galaxy and are trying to do a coordinated drop, open your vehicle menu and lock the vehicle when you're on top of the danger zone. It will drop everyone together. 14. Use enemies' perceived safety to your advantage. If you find yourself surrounded by enemies, hiding behind an enemy max is the last place they will expect you to come from. 15. You can hack the Spitfire turrets as an infiltrator, and the easiest way is to throw an EMP grenade to disable it and then hack it safely. It is questionable how effective it is, but funny to see an engineer so confused as to why their own turret is shooting them. 16. Some buildings tanks can shell into. You can blame DBG for their base design, or you can get away from the walls and doorways which the tank shells explosions will splash off. 17. Out of ammo? Well, run to your closest Sunderer or infantry terminal. It will replenish your shield, give you ammo, and reload your weapons. This can be useful for firing dumbfires out of a spawn room quickly at enemy aircraft too. 18. Each faction has a unique cloak sound, and learning each could save your bacon. In my opinion, the NC cloak sound is easiest to recognise, but you can learn all the others too. 19. In an aircraft looking side to side in the cockpit, on PC this is holding the middle mouse button, will give you a bigger view than your third person camera, and if you're high enough up it will show you any enemy aircraft sneaking up on you, and you'll be able to view everything you want to bomb on the ground. 20. Try not to stop in the middle of the road as a tank when part of a tank assault. Often you'll just end up blocking up the push and end up losing the fight from being pinned down. Yes, ride Eternal, Shiny and Chrome. 21. Manual brakes on aircraft allow you to come to a complete stop. You can do this by binding a throttle to a key, and for me it's 3 at the moment as aircraft don't have 3 weapons and it is closest to the WASD keys. And it'll make sense on the next tip as to why this is important. 22. The hover maneuver is vital for dogfights. Basically, ESFs on Planetside 2 act like VTOLs rather than aircraft really, because they can go backwards and hover. And to perform this, the easiest way is to hit the throttle key to slow down, point your nose down slightly until you see your thrusters on a Mozzie or Reaver point down, and start hovering with the spacebar, and you'll start going backwards and hovering. With the Scythe it is a little harder to tell, but you can get used to it. Basically, you sling yourself faster by hovering and boosting at the same time, and it will throw you backwards, making you harder to hit, but also you will still be facing the enemy and to be able to shoot that person trying to dogfight you. 23. Better players will identify where you are from listening to your spot calls. Be especially careful in close quarters fights like on a tower not to spot people whilst you are hidden, as it will just give you away. 24. Sunderers have rightfully earned the title Battle Buses. With 2 gunners on the top and filled with heavy assaults, the Sunderer is the most potent anti-vehicle weapon in the game, whilst also being the greatest utility, acting as a mobile spawn point and resupply terminal. Don't underestimate this vehicle. 25. Take breaks once in a while from the game. Don't get burnt out, and Planetside 2 will have a long life for your enjoyment. Anyway, I hope these tips were helpful. If you thought they were, give the video a like. And if you thought they weren't quite as fast as Sonic, maybe more on Robotnik's level, give it a dislike. I also think I will have to lower the number of tips for the next one, as 25 is quite stressful to do and get footage for. Maybe 10 or 15, what do you all think? Thanks to all the people who have submitted tips: Remington Darren 1, Panda the Green 2, Joe 2, Commazar 1, Dominic Donahue 3, Golden Man 1, Sir Mitsor 1 and NZ Brute 1. Some of them were overlapping, but in general these were the people that submitted some tips. If you have any tips that you think I've missed in the last 3 episodes, be sure to put them in the comments below, and if you want to see the next episode, hit that subscribe button. Until next time everybody, Joshino.